What's up, guys? What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Deck Talk Podcast. And we've got one of our special guests in here today. But the other special guest will be coming in here shortly. He just had to take care of some business real quick. But other than that, let's take care of business ourselves. If you're ready to hook into some serious bass, grab Bruiser baits, the tournament-proven soft plastic and hard baits that put fish in the boat every time. Bruiser bait, fish the best. Get yours at bruiserbaits.com. Use discount code DECKTALK10.
Woo! Salute to Valor is brought to you by none other than Waze Energy. Waze Energy is a huge supporter for our men and women in uniform, and they're absolutely the best energy drinks out there. Guys, go to their website, click on the link, and order you some Waze Energy because it will definitely get you going. But today's Salute to Valor kind of hits a little close to home for us, is none other than PFC Chris Fugit. He was a medic in the 7th Infantry at Fort Ord, California. He served for 3 years. Awesome dude, man. Look, me and Colin can talk all day about this dude right here, man. He's one of our coordinators. He's an awesome. He's an avid fisherman, but he loves the military. He's constantly asking about my boy that's in the military, and he's about the nation first, United States, and we just want to thank you, Chris, for all that you do or have done for and the sacrifices for our nation, for keeping it safe for the time that you spend. None other. It's a challenge at times, a lot of times, really, especially being away from our friends and family. So thank you, Chris, for your sacrifice in the military. We greatly appreciate everything that you've done.
Yeah. So, well, there he is. Let's get this adjusted real quick. And so if you give me a second, guys, and we will get this sucker going. So,
can you hear me?
We got you, brother.
We got you, Brad.
Woo!
What's going on, bro?
Better late than never. Better late than never. It couldn't be helped. I had a slight emergency and had to get it taken care of.
You're good. You're good. We things happen all the time, and we just go with the flow anyway. So we know that, especially if we got Gerry on, we can talk about anything, and Gerry just carries a conversation. So
there you go.
Hey, hold on now. Hold on. Y'all know what a Karen is, right?
Yeah, we know what a Karen is. Yeah.
Look, I got a Karen right here. Check this out. Who is that?
Oh, man.
Oh, he's rolling Martin.
Look at there.
Look at that. We're all on here.
Rolling.
So, man, I mean, so Gerry, did you happen to be out in the boat with Roland today?
No, Roland was actually on a guide trip, and I'm practicing to bring my grandson out Saturday, Sunday in the tournament. Roland, how many fish you catch today on your guide trip?
About 45. It was a really good day. I tell you, Lake Okeechobee is kind of alive and well. What happens with the 12-foot water level right now is that so many of the fish are on the outside edges of the reeds and all, and they're pretty easy to catch. We started off with topwater and frogs this morning and caught 20-something bass and some worms as well. And we just didn't go far. We just started off on the west wall and went up the shoal. And then about 10 o'clock, we went over across the other side of the lake and got into a big school of fish, actually on worms and stuff on this one point. And we anchored down and probably caught 20, quite a few fives. We didn't have a really big fish, nothing over 6 pounds, but we had about 25 pounds with the 5 best we had. So it was a good day.
Yeah.
Really good, really great day.
Great day.
Well, that was my next question. How big was the 2-pounder? Was it like 6, 7, 8 pounds? So
How big was
guess
the
you
2 pounder?
confirm
Was
that,
it like
didn't
6, 7, 8 pounds?
6, 7, 8.
Yeah. Hey, bass grow the fastest when they're in Roland's hand. They grow fast as heck, man.
Well, let's put it this way: he gave me a big tip.
He gave him a big tip so he can lie about him, I guess.
That's
Hey, so
all that
listen.
matters.
So anyway, we're not the big name tonight, man. It's my good buddy and my fishing partner, Rickey Medlocke. And man, we want to drill him and find out how he can balance all of his music career and still get out here and bass fish with me whenever he has the time. So
Yeah.
why don't you guys go ahead and ask Rickey some questions? We'll just kind of hang out.
Sounds good. Well, Ricky, that's one thing that I was talking to Gerry about. I was like, because y'all actually have some shows coming up as well, correct?
Yeah, this year is going to be another really good year for Lynyrd Skynyrd. We probably looking at about right now, as it stands, we're looking at about 60 shows for the year.
Wow.
And last year we were up to about 65 shows. We went abroad. We were 3.5 weeks in Europe, 2.5 weeks in Canada, and the rest of it over here. So this year we're looking at another really good year. As a matter of fact, on the 29th, we fly down to South America for 10 days and have a good time down there. It's always really a fun time down there, but then we get back and we're doing about 35 shows or so.
No, he froze up.
We lost something.
Yeah.
We lost him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Ricky.
So yeah, we'll get him back on, and
With Farner, and we'll see how it goes.
Heck yeah.
There's Ricky. He's back. He's back. He's back.
So how do you juggle the time of being going to all the shows and concerts and stuff? How do you juggle to be able to make time to get on a boat with Gerry, or to just get out on a boat and be in nature as well?
Oh yeah, man.
Boy.
I mean, you know what? We always have a good time. We always have a good time when we're out fishing, man. It's one of those things where Gerry and I.
Sorry for the technical difficulties here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Kind of on my end, it looks like we got enough. There's enough signal, so
yeah,
we're good here. We can hear you guys and everything. It's just him that's breaking up on us.
Yeah, that's
well,
what
I'll tell
it
you
is.
what. Hey, let's do this. Hey, Roland. So on today's trip, what all did you guys do as far as, like, I know you said you guys hammered on the wall and went up the shelf there. So what kind of techniques were you guys fishing?
What baits and techniques?
Okay. Basically, early in the morning, there's a good topwater bite here in Okeechobee. We're using Zara spooks, the big size, and using a big spro frog. And we're just working the edge of the grass lines, particularly that Kissimmee grass. And boy, they're schooled up in there. They're coming in. There's also shad coming in off the lake. Did you notice that today, Gerry?
Yeah, shad
There was a big old threadfin everywhere you went.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. When those threadfin shad come in, I guess the spawn or whatever, that brings the bass in. Because if the threadfin are way offshore, I guess that's where the bass are. But anyway, right now the threadfin are coming into that weed line, and they're hitting topwater early. That's a big deal.
So how early? Because with y'all being down in Florida, headwaters and stuff like that in Okeechobee, y'all get the spawn way earlier than what we do for here in Chattanooga. Here in Chattanooga on Chickamauga, like, it's just now really starting to get cranked up.
Well, see what happens here in Florida. Even as early as October and November, there's like a little miniature spawn. Mm-hmm. December sometimes is a big spawn. January is absolutely a terrific spawn if the weather's warm enough. It has to be in the 60s or higher, but sometimes it's not. The cold front messes them up.
Right.
February is a little bit more stable, and you'll have a spawn for sure, at least 2 spawns. And then March is out of sight, April's out of sight, May is out of sight. They're spawning here 7 months a year.
Man,
What people don't
that's
realize
crazy.
that these fish are kind of screwed up. They spawn in the whole year.
Yeah.
You know the weird thing about Okeechobee is we just had a tournament here over the weekend, and we
Right.
had like 20 bags over 20 pounds, and winning bag was 29.85 for 5
Oh,
fish.
wow.
You know,
That's a good
and
stat.
yeah, and not like about a week and a half ago, in the same places we were at today, Roland and I had a bag that was 38.5 and 5 fish.
Really?
And all the
Really?
females came in one wave. They stayed like 2 days and then they swam back out.
Wow. So with the spawn practically happening down there 7 months out of the year,
Yes, sir.
are the fish bigger like during that time frame, or like would you see them get bigger like when the bluegill spawn and stuff like that? Because we'll kind of see that
It's really
fluctuate a little.
weird because the spawn will start out with your immature bass. The immature ones, they don't know any better, so they go real quick in the fall, around the October, November time frame.
Right.
But then when you get into December, January, February, and March, you never know when the big group of females are going to come. And I've seen them come in. The big females come in as late as June if we have a lot of fronts that come through.
Really?
Now, Roland is a firm believer, and some of the biologists here in Florida, that our Florida strain bass are kind of weird in the sense that they come in and they spawn, and then they run back out on the lake. They regenerate eggs, and they come in and they spawn a second time.
Right. Now, so do they when that happens and stuff, like, because we'll see to where like usually, because that's how what you just said, like the immature ones usually spawn first down there. Up here, usually the bigger ones are the ones that are actually going to be spawning first up here.
No, we got the opposite here. And
So
here's, I do a lot with FWC, which is our fish and game department,
right,
and I deal with the biologists quite a bit. And here's what they told me. They said typically like a 6-pound female
yeah,
will have like 60,000 eggs. A 7-pound will
Wow.
have like 70,000. 8-pound will have like 80,000. And the mortality rate of that what lives is as low as 10%, because of all the
really,
prey and everything else, and people throwing
right.
them off bed. But when you look at that, you say, man, that's some bad numbers. Well, if one female comes in and lays 80,000 eggs, and 10%
Can
of
you
that, that's
imagine?
8,000 bass. That's a lot of
Yeah,
bass, brother.
that is,
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not
Absolutely.
as bad as you think when you initially think of those numbers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, like, do like, because up here, like after the spawn, like they just look like skin and bones where they haven't eaten anything, they haven't foraged, they've been protecting that bed. Do they get as skinny down there after the spawn as what they do up here?
No, they don't. And I noticed that about northern bass when Hunter and I run up to New Hampshire or whatever, and we get there after the spawn. They're like rails, man. They're really
Yeah,
skinny. They almost look like a pickerel or something like that. Down
yeah,
here, what ends up happening is as soon as they're done spawning, they go out, they hit on the shad and stuff, and then you got the bluegill and the tilapia spawning
right.
at the same time. So they go in there and they start picking on them, and so when the bass is on the bed, the tilapia and the brim will get in there and pick on them. Well, after they're done spawning, that's payback time. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, because like, well, up here, like when the spawn is finishing up or after they get done with the spawn, like you'll catch one that's like a 3-pounder, but it'll have a 5-6 pound head on that sucker. It just looks
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we catch them down here, sick fish. You know, some of the fish get sick here, and I've caught like a fish, and Hunter's caught one too, that had like a 10-pound head but weighs like 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you almost
Yeah.
feel like going to get some shiners and throwing them down the fish's throat or something.
Right.
So,
So, while we got you on here, though, I want to talk to you about Hunter because he actually has a tournament that's coming up, and how excited is he about being able to get into another tournament, and what does he think that he's going to be able to produce something that he caught like he caught up here on Chickamauga? I'd like to see another 9-10 pounder up from him.
yeah, I don't know. Is he excited about the tournament? Oh man, he's overexcited because I don't even know if I told you guys or if you checked out my Facebook, but he's just getting off of having his wisdom teeth out, so he had to sit sidelined and he had to take it easy for a while, so he had no fishing, and I think he's got that itch to get on the water and tear some lips.
I, I know
we like to say here on Deck Talk, we like to say ripping lips and casting dreams and ripping lips.
Yeah.
There you go. You know,
So,
his whole thing that he gets a kick out of is when they call our boat number and I take off, if I'm easing it up, he'll look over at me. He'll go, "Let her eat, man. Let her eat."
let her eat.
Yeah.
So,
Every time it's rough and I get the whole boat motor and everything off the water, and you hear that throttle up out, the prop up out of the water, I
yeah.
look over. He's just giggling away over there. He loves that stuff.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So
he's an adrenaline junkie. That's what he is, an adrenaline junkie.
He is. And his bait company's doing really, really well. And
that was my next question.
We got some baits. He's gotten into that hairy balls kind of thing, with them fuzzy balls with tentacles.
Yeah.
And he's pouring some now,
nice.
and we got some coming your way for you to try out.
Heck
and man, I'll tell you, everybody's tried his baits, has been excited. We haven't posted it yet. We had a guy send us a content picture. He caught a 9.9 on one of Hunter's baits.
Oh, heck yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We're going to be using some of them tomorrow. Pappy and I are going to hit Chickamauga, and then I've got some ready to rock and roll for tomorrow.
Yeah. Good deal.
But Gerry, I also wanted to bring up the kids for fishing.
Let's explain that with beauty.
Hang on, Roland's talking to me. We're trying to see how we can get in touch with Rickey to get Rickey back on here. What's going on with Rickey?
Yeah.
We're trying to figure that out. So give me a minute. You got him in your phone? Call him on your phone.
I don't have it.
You don't have Rickey on there?
Let's see.
We're trying to figure out what happened to Rickey. I don't know if his phone died or, we don't have any storms yet because this is not our storm season right now. It's nice out.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I think the Iranians had something to do with this. I'm not quite sure, but I think we ought to make it the 4th of July over there just to get even with them.
Light them up, huh?
Light them up. Yeah, light them up.
So,
yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
I figure if we put a big enough crater over there and it fills with water, we could introduce bass, and we may have a big old bass lake that we can go overseas and fish.
Right. I mean, who could be down against that, But I do want to talk to you about the kids for fishing. What do you have coming up for it?
We've got here's something we really haven't talked about. We're doing the challenge series, and this is the first year that we've done it, and I think we're the only youth club that's done it. We partnered up with Bubba Fish Scales, and we do a live release tournament like Major League Fishing does, and especially this time of year while they're spawning, And so we put one kid in the boat. The kid has to do everything. He's got to drive the boat. He's got to run the trolling motor. The whole thing's him.
Right.
And and sometimes the kids will buy them because in Florida, once you get your safety permit, you can run a boat by yourself. You don't need an adult with you. So
Right.
some of the kids are out there by themselves in these boats with 250s on them, and man, I'll tell you, we're going to all these lakes that they never fish. So it's putting pressure on them. They're learning how to find fish on a new lake, and they're loving the concept of not having to weigh in fish, and
Right.
they're realizing that we're doing a lot less damage doing that. And then we got the regular tournaments for the little guys. We call them our juniors, and the juniors they're allowed to bring in 5 fish, and we don't fish during the hot months. If we did, we'd limit that down to 3, and they're doing really well. And then on May 30th, we're having a fundraising tournament for adults and kids, and we're doing it with an organization called Refuse to Sink, which is suicide prevention.
Yeah.
And they don't want to make any money out of it. They're going to donate all the money they would normally get back to kids for fishing, because
Oh,
we're going to
that's
give
awesome.
we're giving scholarships to the kids. So we have one team that's qualified to go to nationals. So we're going to write them
Wow.
$1,000 check to help with the expenses. And then when the kids get out of high school, we're going to give them a scholarship for college.
Man, that's awesome. That is,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate you and Pappy. We do as the podcast appreciate you. One for all that you do for us, but two for what you do for the kids and down in Florida, and what you try to. You want to make sure that they're as safe as possible out on the water and to take care of them, and then to where they can go. It's not just about going out and having fun fishing. They're actually learning how to find fish and how to do everything. And so we appreciate that. I mean, because this is stuff that these kids are going to be able to take with them forever, and hopefully be able to, if they want to be able to make a living off of it, and I mean, and get college paid for. So what you're doing down there, we really love to see what you're doing, brother.
Well,
Besides
remember, I mean, you know,
besides the tournaments that we do, a lot of people don't realize we're teaching the kids how to make their own baits. We're teaching
Right.
the kids. We bring them to a boat ramp, teach them how to take a boat off a trailer, put it back on. We have a competition of running a trolling motor through an obstacle course, and then having to pitch or cast into a hula hoop ring before you can move to the next station to get them better handling skills. Um, we have a paintball day where they paintball and they can shoot the boat captains. They get a kick out of that. We had some of the kids, the ones that wanted to, go out and get certified in scuba diving. So now
Oh
they're able
yeah.
to
oh
go.
wow,
Now they're able to go under the water and do content from under the water and see how how the baits look underwater, how they change color and everything.
Yeah.
And it gives you some really good chances of getting up and close and personal with an overgrown lizard that we call an alligator. So you always got that chance too. And so we do a lot more. We got some cookouts planned. We've got some Zoom calls with some pros planned where they can ask the pros questions. So we're really trying to make this a unique experience for the kids. And my main goal, to be honest with you, is these kids not to spend their nights and days on electronics like Xbox and all that kind of stuff, or on their
Right.
phone or on their pads. I want them to be outdoors, and even if they just learn a little bit or a lot, at least they've learned something and they're outdoors enjoying the outdoors.
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm not
So
sure what happened to Ricky, and I apologize because he had something go on over there. I'm not sure what it was,
yeah.
but I was all excited to get him on here. Ricky and I have been friends for a lot of years, and man, I'll tell you what, he is a stick when it comes to bass fishing. We went to Headwaters one trip, and it was on a Saturday, and Ricky didn't put the rod down until he himself boated 80 fish.
Woo.
in one day, and he wanted to stay. And he had this. If you ever saw the video, he put this towel over his finger, and I'm like, "What you got, girls' hands?" He goes, "Man, I got to protect my guitar picking hands."
Did we lose Gerry?
Uh-oh.
Yep.
No, he's there. We just don't see him. But hey, this is a testament of just bass fishing and what we go through and the passion that we have for it. Uh, Jerry and Roland and Ricky, it's so much fun. It's you against the fish. You're
Yeah.
trying to outsmart them, and they're trying to outsmart you, and
Right.
it is so fun that it's addictive, but I wouldn't personally, I wouldn't want to do anything else but fish, be in the great outdoors. But especially,
gotcha.
but going back to what you do, Jerry, is for the kids and everything, man. That is beyond. I mean, it is great that we got people like you guys doing what you do on a daily, trying to get these kids out there, teaching them how to tie a hook and teaching them different rigs and back a boat in, because we all know backing a boat in the water is challenging for some people, but and running a trolling motor, pitching, casting. I mean, and again, the fishing industry, that's what we need. We need more people like you to step up and do what you guys are doing for our youth.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. When I first get into this, they said, "Man, there's not many people out there that are helping the kids out." But I've come to find that over the last year, man, there's actually quite a few of them out there that are helping the kids. And you know what? We all have to understand we're not getting any younger, and somebody's going to take over this sport of ours and protect this resource. And man, with all the people that are helping and all these young kids that are so energetic to learn everything, it's looking pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Colin, Ricky's asking for you to send him another invite to join.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if there's something that we can do, deck talk, as far as, because me and Colin, and I know yourself, you've backed many of boats in the water many times, but hey, we're truck drivers. We understand the logistics of backing. So if there's something that we can do to help out, we're more than willing to help you guys out in any way possible. Because again, backing a trailer in can be challenging. Especially when you got a ramp that's full of boats, and it gets a little bit overwhelming. People hollering and screaming and acting fools sometimes. It can get challenging sometimes.
Well, I tell you, the ones you got to worry about is the truck and the boat. The truck that still has the drive out tag, and the boat that don't have any registration numbers on it.
You got that right.
Because they just picked that sucker up from the shop.
Hey, I kid you not. I seen one time we were just got done. Matter of fact, we were going back in for weigh in, and there was some pleasure boaters, and that was the same scenario. He was a new boater. There was a new tag on the boat, and it was an inline boat, and I seen him drag his prop or his motor, his prop, I guess, all the way up the ramp. Needless to say, it was not
It was
for him.
rolling. I can talk about him. He ain't right here next to me. Kick me
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, tell us, because y'all, Gerry, you and Hunter I think you've told the story to me a couple times, and I want to say what you were in Maryland, or was it New Hampshire that y'all were in, that the people at the docks, Hunter was loading the boat, and the people at the docks had an issue with him loading the boat.
Yeah. So So we're in New Hampshire, and we're smallmouth fishing up there. And it's the boat we call Hunter's boat. It's the one he takes care of and maintains. It's got his wrap on it, his name on it, and stuff. And so he drops me off, and we get done fishing. He drops me off at the dock. I go get the truck, and I go ahead and back in, and he drives on, and he knows to keep the throttle pressed till he gets up to the bow eye, on the roller, and then he just holds it while I pull out, so we don't have to crank it or anything. So I drive up, and I pull over, and man, I'm noticing all these adults talking to Hunter. So I get out of the truck, and I hear him talking, and he goes, yeah. He says, I'm only, I think at the time he's either 12 or 13. And he told them how old he was, and he's 14 now. But they go, well, you can't drive a boat here in New Hampshire till you're 16 years old. And Hunter goes, well, I just did. And they go, yeah, but it's against the law. You get a ticket for that. He goes, so I hear Hunter go, that's okay. He'll pay it. He points to me. He goes, he'll pay the fine. So I come walking down. I go, what's up, guys? And they go, well, we were just talking to him about how you let him drive your boat on the trailer. I said, that's his boat. Well, you got to be 16 here. I said, well, I don't see any fish and game cops around, so I guess we're okay.
Yeah.
So, but you want to know a funny thing, though? I'm going to tell you something, right? And the people watching may get a kick out of this. So we go up to that New Hampshire, the smallmouth fish, and literally we're going across the lake, and Hunter looks over the depth finder. It's reading 161 feet of water we're in. And we start getting close to where we want to fish on a rocky point, and he slows down. He looks over, and he looks back at the depth finder. He looks back over again the side of the boat, and he goes, this is crazy. We're in 80 feet of water, and I can see the bottom. And he said, if you dropped a soda can down here, you'd be able to tell what kind it was. I said, yeah, it's really clear here. So anyway, we went to fishing, and I think that day, if I remember, every day I think we were there, we averaged 60 to 80 fish a day, smallmouth. And so we came into the ramp, and after those guys that were bitching about him driving the boat, they finally loosened up, and they asked him, how did you do? And he said the number, and I don't remember if it was in the 60s or 70s or what it was. And they go, oh, you must, being from Florida, you must have to get down to 6 or 8 pound test line, so they wouldn't see it. Hunter looked at him and goes, no, we use a 65-pound braid. And they go, well, that's crazy. They'll see that. So I looked at the guys and I said, hey, did you just say they would see braid? And he goes, yeah. He said they won't bite it because they see the braid. I said, have you ever used an Alabama rig? That's a stainless steel wire thicker than my braid, and they hit that, and you catch 5 on there because we've done it before, and you don't think they see that stainless steel wire? I said, you're overthinking this. They got their mind on one thing, that bait that's wiggling around.
Yeah.
They're not looking at what's in front of it. And that's really the truth. I really believe that. And we had a friend come out with us a couple days later that lives up there, and he was amazed that we could get away with that braided line and how many fish we caught with that braided line.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Well,
thing.
and my thing is, Gerry, if we just keep it simple and not try to overthink stuff like you just said, fishing it's not that hard. I mean,
No.
yeah, so what? They've seen stuff. They're going to see it, whether you got braid on, you got, clear line, green line, yellow line. I mean, people fishes with all kinds of different colors of line, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the presentation. It's how you fish it. If that fish wants it, he's going to take it. If not,
Absolutely.
then he's not.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yep,
Well,
absolutely.
Well, right now it's not the fact of with them spawning for us, and it's not the fact that they want it. They just want it off of the bed, and so.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about, but anytime though.
And
it goes back to say if they want it, they're going to take it. Period. Yeah. That goes with anything, whether you're hunting, fishing, trapping, anything. It's if they want it, they're going to take it. You know,
Yeah.
that's just the nature of the beast, and we don't have no control of the nature. The only thing we got control of is what's on the end of that line and how we dangle it. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whether they want it or not, that's totally up to them.
So
You
what?
know, there's a lot of things in fishing I don't necessarily agree with, and you know, one of them, I'll say it in front of these people and give you some things to think about. One of them is when I go to the ICAST show, there's always one night where these vast mass herds, HERS, women get together and have their own party, and there's maybe like 100 of them. And I always
I
talked to
love
them and
it.
I said, "Hey, I appreciate that y'all have an organization, but when you get out on the water, that bass doesn't know if you're male, female, if you're 6 years old, 90 years old."
Yeah.
I said, being a woman fishing against me, you're not at any disadvantage whatsoever. You
Right.
know, and you can
Yeah.
come fish our tournaments, but we can't come fish yours. So
Yeah.
I'm a little confused on why this all got started,
Yeah.
um, and I never did get a really, really good reason. And then let's pop over to forward facing sonar. Um, you can't stop technology. You can
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
forward facing, you can hate forward facing. I really don't care. But here's what I'm going to tell you: forward facing sonar to open water fishing is no different than polarized sunglasses to bed fishing, which is no different than a flogger to clear water lakes up in St. Clair and them when you're looking live time. And if you take all three of what I just said, the polarized glasses is live time, you see the fish eating your bait. The flogger, you see the fish eating your bait. And everybody says, well, I don't like watching a guy in the boat looking at his unit all the time. Well, do you really like a guy laying on his stomach with a flogger in one ear and a rod in the other? You know, looks like he's sleeping on the deck. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, you know, I think people don't want to learn it. And I wish Roland was still here. He drifted off on me. I may have to put out an Amber Alert or something. He's wandered off, you know, like a little kid.
A silver
So
alert.
yeah, I'm gonna have to put something out. I better be careful. I'm gonna get picked up for abuse of the elderly or something here in a minute. I don't know. But I
So,
really wish he was here because at 86 years old, he just turned 86. He learned how to use forward facing in my boat. Very first time he ever used it, I called the shots and told him, "Hey, over there, it's like a 4 pounder. Little more, little more." He's there. Bang, he catches it. Then he catches one off the front. Same thing. I told him, looks like it's 4, maybe 5 pounds, and it was. He caught that one too. So he's learned it. And then
yeah.
Hunter learned it at 12 years old.
Yeah.
You
Well, the
know,
thing
Yeah.
he
is,
learned it.
like Jerry, do you think it's just the price tag now that's I mean, because I mean it is expensive to put it on the boat.
It
But do
is.
you think do
It
you
is.
think that it's the price tag that I mean people just they know that it's a $3,000 investment that they're going to put in on just for that, you know. So
Well, I'm going to tell you $3,000 on the low end because the boat I'm leaning against here, there's 4 units in it. There's a Garmin with LVS 34. There's an active target 2 on the Lowrance. This one probably has someplace with the C Clear cable, the extra lithium battery. This one probably has about $25,000 worth of electronics in it. So
right, right,
I definitely think that there's a price tag. There's a learning curve. There's some people just not wanting to learn it,
right.
and you know, there's a lot of reasons. And I listen to people, and I don't disrespect them if they don't like it, and I don't you know, jump up and down if the guy loves it. I mean, every person is capable of making their own opinion of it, whether they want to use it or not. But you know, I look at it this way: uh, would you go to a NASCAR race using used tires? You know,
No,
would you not try and have the same equipment that every other race car has? So, you
yeah,
know,
Well, I think
at the level of the elites and the BPS and all that, the high levels, let them guys have the forward facing sonar. Leave them alone. You
yeah,
know,
well it's
I'm
tough.
gonna tell you what happened. You guys are gonna laugh like heck. And if he's watching the show, he's gonna kill me for saying this. So he doesn't like forward facing sonar, but he says to compete in tournaments he has to use it. So he signed up for what was last year called the MLF Invitationals, this year called MLF Pro Circuit.
Right.
And they limited you to 3 hours. And I told them, that's so stupid. All they're going to do is open the door for more disqualification, and disqualifications are already through the roof. We got to lighten up on disqualification. He goes, no. He said, all you got to do after 3 hours, put the lock back on, blah, blah, blah. Where was their first tournament? Lake Harris, right?
Yeah.
Guess what guy got disqualified for going over 3 hours? Him. The same guy said, no. He
just
lost.
gotta put the lock back on it, Jared.
And he didn't go a little over. He went 3 hours and 48 minutes.
Woo.
So what the rule is, for every minute you go over, you lose a pound. I don't know if you know that or not.
Oh wow!
I didn't know
and
that.
then I think in 10 minutes, I think you lose all your weight. So he lost his whole bag.
On the scoreboard, you're negative.
Well,
yeah.
It's kind of like all these anglers that, or not just anglers. I mean, everybody that don't like the F4 facing sonar. You just kind of adjust with it. And it. I'm not going to say it's going to put more fish in a boat, but there's always that capability that it will. Just like college football, when college football actually transitioned over into the old style of football and back into the spread options and everything, they didn't really like it. The hurry up offenses and everything else. But here's the thing. The defenses had to adjust to it, and whether they liked it or not, it was happening, and it's still happening. So that's in today's technology. So regardless, learn how to use it. Make it just another tool in your bag, and use it to your capabilities. You don't. Whether it helps you or not, but you can still go out there and scan, just like my brother. I'll use my brother for example. He just got his forward facing sonar not too long ago, and we were talking today, and he was like, Josh, he said, man, ever since I got it, I've learned from it, and it's helped me in a lot of ways. It
definitely is a learning tool.
Yeah, and he said I've learned how the fish actually live and what they do. But he did say that he's put a lot more fish in the boat because of it.
So let me tell you, since
whatever.
Number one, it's nice that you brought college football in, but I didn't hear you say Roll Tide, so you missed that one. But
Roll Tide.
There you go.
I thought he was going to say.
I was one of the early guys to put it on my boat and get out there, and I get out there with Roland, and he used it first on my boat and everything. And I told people, let it run its course. Just let it run its course. Eventually, it's not going to be that good of a technique. And we're already getting there. We used to pull up, there'd be 10 bass there. We catch 8 or 9 of them. Now we're lucky to get 2 or 3. And we got some lakes that the high school kids around us, they go out there. They're out there every day live scoping. And, man, you throw bait near them now, they all just scatter. They're gone.
Right.
And you know what it's going to do? It's going to drive some of them bass back to the shorelines where the people like the old timers
we're already seeing it
over
though.
there.
Yeah, we're already seeing it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Jerry, how many times, like when you first put that forward facing sonar on there, and I've seen it with the 3-4 years that I've had it on my boat. How many, like when you first got it, you used to be able to get like within 15-20 feet from that bass and be able to easily do it. Now, if you get within 60, them bass are gun shy on it.
Yeah, you got it. 60, no closer than 65.
Yeah.
No closer than that. Now listen, I was just on Facebook, and I was taking a lot of criticism from one guy because he said that I was sending the wrong message to my kids that I teach by teaching them forward facing sonar. And I told him, I said, hey, every technique that's out there, whether it's old school or new school, I am going to bring to the kids, because in order for them to be competitive in this sport, they're going to need to know it from A to Z, not A to M or A to
Yeah.
O. They're going to need
Right.
to know it from A to Z. And he was, oh, it's because of your money, you're able to do that. And, you know,
No,
he
it's
said, you're
not.
running kids out of the sport. And I said, I'm not running anybody out of the sport.
No.
I said,
No.
kids never used it before. I tell them, get in my boat and play with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Well,
you know,
I
I've
mean,
taken a lot of grief over it, and I'm going to continue to teach the young kids how to use it.
yeah.
And thank you. And thank you for that, because you know what? Again, it's just another tool. You know,
Exactly.
whether it puts fish in the boat or not, that's just like with side imaging, down imaging, and all that. It don't matter. You know,
Uh-huh.
we can use that to gain. If it's going to if it's going to give us an advantage, so be it. You know what? Because you know, everybody's using it now. Everybody is using it.
Well, Gerry, how
We've
many?
let me tell you something weird that you've never even heard of. We have a lot of people that drowned in the state of Florida.
Mhm.
We've gotten phone calls from the sheriff's department.
Yep.
Can we bring our boats down and scan to help them find the body? And
Yeah.
it's worked. We have found bodies using the electronics.
And I found how many times have you gone? In which we actually talked about this when you were up here last year, and we were out on Chickamauga. Like, I found so many cars and trucks and stuff like that by using it, to where if you go over them, just like with your side scan or something like that, to maybe that you may only think that it's like a boulder or something like that down there, to where, but with the forward facing sonar, you can pick it up and you actually see the windows and everything.
Well, matter
But
of fact, you found that one car that TWRA didn't even know about.
yeah, yeah,
That's only because he's the one that drove it in there with one of his cars. Oh man.
I put
Oh,
Jerry's
man.
license plate on it though, so it wouldn't come back to me.
There you go. There you go. So there are some good things with the electronics, and
There
you know,
is.
as morbid as it is, you don't really want to go out and find a body, but if you can go out there and locate it for them and they can retrieve it, then at least the family has some kind of closure.
Yeah.
You know, and so you got to
But
look at it twofold.
Yeah.
but the
Yeah, I
thing
agree.
on it is, um, that to me is I'm still waiting, because I mean we hear it all the time, and I know you hear it all the time. It's a cheater box. But Jerry, how many times have you put that forward facing sonar in the water and turned that sucker on? How many bass have you had automatically just jumping right into the boat for you?
Yeah, none.
So Michael Bradley says, I'd like to think more companies will come out with the all-in-one unit like the Eagle Eye 9. And I don't know, I know the unit that you're talking about, Michael. Jerry may know more about it than what we do. I know that it has the capabilities. I don't know if it comes out of the box with the transducer. Do you know that?
You can buy them with or without transducers, and it's a good tool, but it's not a tool that you would use on the like in the classic or on the elites, because it
Right.
doesn't have the dual processes like some of the other units have. And you know, to make your point about forward facing, we're on Okeechobee today, and if you look right there, there's a unit missing. See that bracket? Because
Yeah.
on Okeechobee we don't use. I got a Lowrance down here, but nothing on that one because I don't use the forward facing here. Now there's where the Garmin is, that on a right height pole, as you can see that. Here's the Lowrance one down here. And you know, people see this and they go, man, you're a little bit overboard on that. Well, you know what? I'm really not. What I'm doing is I'm trying to teach the kids, and I don't want the kids to feel they need to buy Lowrance or they need to buy Garmin. So if I give them both to play with, then they can figure for themselves what they want to buy.
Yeah. And that was one thing
You
that
know?
I really enjoyed when I was out on the boat with you. And because I really hadn't got to play around too much with the Garmin. until I got on the boat with you, and I was able to play around with it. And I will say, the Garmin by far has the most clarity of a picture.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Now the brand new Active Target XL is coming out. You can
yeah,
pre-order right now, and I have 2 on order because we're gonna run 3 forward facing on the front of this boat. Because
right.
on the Active Target 2 XL, it's going to give us like 360 and forward at the same time. Now you did mention you really enjoyed using it when you were out on the boat with me and you were able to play with it, but you
Yeah.
didn't tell anybody you got pissed off because all the fish shook their head and went out of the way. Yeah.
Hey, that was supposed to stay between us, Jerry. That was.
Oh, that was inside words. Those shouldn't have came out. I got you.
No, you're good.
Gotcha.
Hey, anything else you want to, any kind of other dirt you want to throw out there, just throw it. But hey, real quick,
No,
I
I'm just
want
kidding. That really didn't
no,
happen. I was
no,
just
I
joking.
got, I got you, I got you. Hey, I just want to thank
Yeah.
all of our sponsors that sent us to the classic Nose Down.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Fish Lung, JC, what JC Charter,
JC
Fishing
Glide Bait.
Charter.
No,
Yeah,
JC Glide Bait, Lake Placid Freshwater Chartering Guides, and K&K Baits.
yeah. We want to
K&K
thank you
Custom
guys.
Baits.
Yeah, we want to thank you guys for sending us out. You know, we greatly appreciate it, and we're still working on our content, and you
Yeah,
know,
we have probably about 50, 60 more hours of editing.
yeah. So
Wow.
thank you guys again.
Yeah,
Wow, you guys did a lot.
we hammered
Oh
down,
yeah,
and I tell you,
yeah.
Jerry, we hit over in the 4 days. We hit over 410,000 views just on the Deck Talk Facebook page.
And it was what
That's
within 3 days,
crazy.
3 days, 3 days.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
So,
Who was the gentleman that had the question about the Eagle 9?
Michael Bradley.
Yeah.
Tell is Mike? I don't know if Mike is still on or not, but
Yeah, he is.
prior
He
to us
just
coming online tonight, before you guys could hear us, I had to talk with both these gentlemen and told them a good guy to get on here would be Jeff Reed,
yeah.
and that guy Mike will be able to ask him any questions and maybe have a question and answer session with him. But man, he knows electronics in and out a lot better than I do. He sets up pros boats. He does training on the water. He just set up 9 boats in Texas in 4 days of training on the water, and he lives in Tennessee, and he
Yeah.
was
Oh
in
wow.
Texas doing that.
Yeah.
But
Oh wow.
you guys get him on, and everybody that has any questions about forward facing or side scan or 360, he'd be the right guy to ask, because
Yeah.
that'd be an
Well,
awesome show. I can't wait till he gets on.
yeah,
Well,
that would be good.
hey
And I
Jerry.
want to say something real quick, Pappy.
Yeah.
With you being, what is the temperature right now in Florida?
Probably about 88 degrees right now.
All right. Now the next thing is, in this tournament, how is Hunter, that he's going to be fishing on Okeechobee? How is Hunter preserving the health of the fish with carrying them in the live well? How is he taking care of those fish?
Oh man, every one of our boats has a fish lung in it,
Yeah,
and we
buddy.
swear by the fish lung. When I get on stage for Major League Fishing, the guy that's in the bump tank, he will look at my fish. He will say, "Man, what do you got? A fish lung in your boat?" I go, "Absolutely." He goes, "They're the most ballistic fish I've had all day." I swear by the fish lung. And Hunter, as soon as he puts the fish in there, he runs back, turns the fish lung on, and he swears by it, because he's had fish that have looked unhealthy at weigh-in, and I don't care how hot it gets, how cold it gets, how rough it gets. That fish lung definitely helps the fish.
Yeah, and that's for us. Like, uh, we've used it and have it, and it is phenomenal. A buddy of ours.
And don't want anything else.
No, it's
No.
but the thing about it is, like, how quiet that it is. Like, I mean, you really have to be listening for it to make sure that the sucker's on. If you're just looking up underneath the hatch of where it's at, to make sure that
Yeah.
that sucker's
Absolutely.
on. And
Absolutely.
but
The other thing I want to mention while we're on here, and we're talking about fish care. Hunter had a video out, and I think maybe I'll bring it back up and repost it again. But what we do in the summer when it's really, really hot is we'll take bottles of spring water. We'll take like maybe a quarter of it out, and we'll put catch and release or something like that
yeah,
in there. Rejuvenate. We use different ones, and then we freeze them. And what we do is when the water gets warm, we take the lid off and we just throw one bottle in there. And you cannot change the temperature in there more than 5 degrees. If you do, you're probably going to kill your fish. So
right,
that one bottle will not change it more than 5 degrees. Then when it's all melted, you give it maybe like another hour and throw another bottle in there, and it'll keep them, along with the fish lung, it'll keep them fish really healthy. You just got to remember when you go into the cooler, don't drink the blue water. It has an aftertaste.
I was about to say that kind of sounded like it was from experience right there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. Just I know what it smells like. I'd never drink it.
But
Yeah, I'd never
yeah,
drink it.
yeah, 'cause-
I'm not sure what happened to Rickey Medlocke, and I apologize to
oh,
everybody
you're
that
good.
tuned in to
Yeah, you're good.
see Rickey, but we'll find a date to get Rickey back on, and I'm hoping it doesn't have anything to do with his emergency call he had before either.
Yeah,
But we'll get him back on and let you all drill him and ask him questions and everything.
sounds good. Now,
Yeah.
now, I mean, we do need. I mean, I was planning on seeing if he could play the guitar for us. I guess since he's not here, we're gonna just have to have Gerry play it, Pappy.
Well, I was going to say we might need to send an Amber Alert for Roland.
Yeah, he's still.
I think he may be passed out in my truck. I don't know. I need to go check. My door's open. I don't think it was open before. Oh, look, yeah, check it out. Check it out. What are you doing in my truck?
Get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Look at him. Go kick.
I got to fly to Tucson, Arizona.
Say bye to
So
everybody.
I only 7 o'clock. If I don't eat in the next hour, I got to get up at 2:30.
You going to? What are you doing in Arizona?
I got to open a Bass Pro Shop.
Oh, damn.
All right. Heck
Hey,
yeah.
Heck yeah.
For all you guys who've never seen the truck, there's the truck. It's all wrapped.
Heck yeah.
Try and back up here.
We lost him.
Yeah.
So Gerry will be back on here in a second.
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is. Don't move too sudden, Gerry.
My back?
You're
Yeah,
back.
you're back. We got you. Well,
Let's do like this.
we had him. Yeah. There he is. He's still on there. There he is.
So
My back in here?
you're back,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
So, but Gerry, thank you, brother.
Not
And,
hearing anything, guys. Y'all can hear me. I guess that's it. I guess it's a show. I don't know what happened.
all right, well, we're gonna
I'm
end
not
it
hearing
here.
you. I don't know if you hear me. Give me a thumbs up.
Yeah, we
Okay. Not sure
Wait.
why I'm not hearing you, and I don't have anything muted here. I'm live. We've been on 58, 56 because we were late.
it's all good.
Don't see anything that says mute.
No, so we're good. We're going
So
to.
anyway, sorry about that, guys. I'm going to sign off. I can't hear you. Y'all have a great night. Again, apologize for Rickey, but we will get him on. Even if we need to do it on an off night, we'll get him on.
Yeah,
I promise you.
Sounds good, brother.
And we'll get it straight next time. Y'all have a
Sounds good.
good
Sounds
night.
good. Yeah,
Time
So-
with the-
So we want to thank everybody for for staying tuned with us, even though we didn't get too terribly much with Rickey before something happened. I don't know if his phone died, Pappy, or whatever. Hopefully, it wasn't the emergency that he had the reason why he was late.
Yeah, I'm hoping everything's okay with him.
But again, it's always fun to have Gerry on, and so we have a blast. And so, but guys, we're gonna have oh shoot, his name's Josh. I can't think what his last name is, but with US Tungsten coming in next week, and so that's going to be an interesting. We're going to talk about some tungsten weights, some jigs, bullet weights, swim jigs, anything you can think of with tungsten. We're going to be talking about next week. And everybody that had commented, I know we were having technical issues with Facebook. I don't know why I could not see any kind of questions from Facebook at all. So
Yeah,
we had, and it's showing that I had there was 47 comments, and I did not see any of them. So guys, but we want to apologize for that. But next week we're going to be at it again, and hopefully it's going to we're going to be able to, in between now and then, Pappy, we're going to be out on the lake and hopefully be able to rip some lips, and hopefully be able to show some pictures off of some Chickamauga finest.
Yeah, so y'all be ready for the content. We're going tomorrow morning, and we're going to hopefully catch some fish and do some different type of demonstrations on early, I guess you could call it early spring techniques and how-tos and whatnot.
Spring, I guess you can consider it early spring and into spawn. So we're going to go out there.
I guess it'll be the first time we've been on the lake in a few weeks because of we just been extremely busy and so y'all.
But also stay tuned for again, we've got probably another 50-60 hours of contents that we got to edit. And so we've got a lot of stuff. We've been slowly putting it out. We put it out as much as we could while we were at the Classic, but we just had so much that we had going on. And then with work, and then I wasn't feeling the greatest for about a week and a half, and
we're still trying to recover and rest up. But hey, we do have some exciting news coming up, hopefully, and stuff that's gonna, we'll down the pipeline. We'll let you guys know, and it's gonna be nothing but good. And that's something else that's kind of been not hindering us, but we just been extremely busy. Deck Talk Podcast has been busy, and some good things are coming. We just can't wait to break it for you guys. But with that being said,
let's do this. Yeah. We want next week. We're going to do a giveaway next week.
Ooh, a lot of giveaways.
And so we got a couple things from the Classic, and Pappy, you want to talk about? We're only going to give one of the things away this tomorrow. This next week.
So one of my favorite anglers of all time. We have got an autograph from him, and it's going to be Edwin Evers. You will. I don't know. So we hadn't really talked about what we're going to do yet, as far as the what we're going to do to give away. It's a hat. What, a Lawrence hat?
Lawrence hat. Yep.
Yeah. Signed by Edwin Evers. We got 2 of them, and that will be in the giveaway. One, and then one some other time. But yeah, I mean, dude, Edwin is an awesome dude. He's not just a great angler, but so good. We've had him on the podcast. We talked to him several times at the expo. Always open arms. Answer any kind of questions that we had. He's just a great dude. Great dude. So y'all go check him out. Oh, he also has a pecan, right?
Yeah, pecan farm.
Pecan farm in Oklahoma. Yeah. So you guys go and check him out on that. And but yeah, we'll get the schematics together and hopefully give away a priceless hat signed by him.
Yeah. So sounds good. We're gonna get off here. Fat Boy's hungry, Pappy.
You got that right. I'll fix some grill some burgers.
Yeah, and then we got to get to bed early because we're gonna be up and running in the morning. And,
yes, sir. Can't wait.
But guys, thank you again. Remember, God loves you as if you were the only person in this world to love. And remember, to all the veterans and that is still active soldiers, and we want to thank you so much for all that you've done. We want to thank Waze Energy for sponsoring our Salute to Valor. Guys, if you have not tried Waze Energy, I'm telling you, that by far the best energy drink that I have drank. And I worked 14 years with Coca-Cola. So with that, I had Full Throttle, NOS, Monster. At one point in time, we had Rockstar. So, I mean, I had all those at my hands. And the Waze Energy is has been by far the best. And it's the best taste and does not leave any kind of weird aftertaste or any kind of crash. It's just you get that and you're ready to do whatever you gotta get done. So but guys, thank you again, and we will catch you here next week. Stay tuned to again for what we may go do a live tomorrow out on the water. Not sure. But we will have some content from being out.
Yeah, we definitely going live. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're going live. We want you guys to interject with us. Like, subscribe, share, all that. Even on the podcast. Please, it does nothing but help us out, and we're trying to make it better for you guys. Not only us, but for you guys. That's because you guys is what drives us.
Yeah. So guys, thank you again so much. And Pappy, I'll see you in the morning, brother.
Absolutely.